NewsNation's special coverage of Charlie Kirk's memorial just 10 minutes away. Right now, tens of thousands continue to pour into State Farm Stadium in Arizona. We've been watching this all morning long. They are there to pay their respects to the late activist. President Trump and Vice President Vance both expected to speak at Kirk's memorial, along with half a dozen top administration officials, including Stephen Miller, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. NewsNation's Leland Vitter leads our special coverage inside State Farm Stadium, starting at the top of the hour, so stick around for that. And as those tens of thousands mourn the life of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, his suspected killer, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, is facing a possible death penalty if he's convicted. Robinson is facing murder charges in addition to several other charges. Investigators revealing he confessed to his partner, but a motive still remains unclear. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves is here with the very latest on the investigation. All right, Alicia, where do things stand right now? This is moving forward.
This is moving forward, and what we understand is investigators right now are really focused on the murder weapon here used to kill this conservative commentator, Charlie Kirk. That's drawing the most attention, not just for what it did, but for what it lacked, a serial number. Now, investigators say the rifle used by Robinson to assassinate Kirk was a century-old Mauser 98, a German-made rifle from World War I. That is decades older than modern firearm tracking laws. Prosecutors say Robinson texted a roommate just hours after the shooting, worried about his fingerprints, but not the gun itself, as he knew the rifle had no serial number. He reportedly wrapped that rifle in a towel and then ditched it near Utah Valley University. Investigators finding it hours later and recovering DNA linked to Robinson. But as we've been reporting, without family intervention, we may have never caught him. Even with this DNA, certainly not so soon. This case is now raising some fresh concerns about thousands of these vintage, untraceable rifles still in circulations, weapons that experts say could be used, unfortunately, to potentially and hopefully not, but carry out a similar attack, Laura.
Sure. So you've got the vintage guns, you've got ghost guns,
yes,
a lot of guns that are unable to be tracked. Right now, do we know if Robinson is cooperating? Because, you know, he allegedly confessed, but then we hear he's shutting down.
Yeah, and he technically turned himself in, although with the coercion of his family. You know, Robinson, he is in custody, but as far as we understand, he is refusing to cooperate with investigators. They do say they may not need that cooperation, saying they have a mountain of evidence against him, especially via text messages that he sent before and after the killing. Some of those messages, you're looking at them on your screen right now, directly about Kirk, that may be used to understand the motive here. One allegedly saying of Kirk, quote, "I had enough of his hatred." Now, Tyler Robinson remains in jail right now without bail. He's due back in court at the end of this month on September 29th. That is going to be his preliminary hearing. That is when a judge will formally determine if there is enough evidence to go to trial. He is being charged with felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, of course, aggravated murder. With that murder charge, prosecutors are looking to seek the death penalty. So at the end of the month, the focus will be on what happens next with this alleged killer, although right now the focus on mourning Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely. Alicia Nieves, thank you very much for that report. We'll check back in.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.